Pokemon Champions hasn't even been out for a single month yet, and yet there's already a Mega Pokemon that has followed a very weird arc. It's Mega Delphox, and initially when the games came out, people thought that it was one of the best new Megas, maybe the best new Mega evolution. But the weird thing is that pretty quickly, Delphox usage started to drop, and drop more, until eventually it basically wasn't being used at all. And that's pretty strange for a Pokemon that was in contention for the best new Mega evolution, especially because Delphox actually matches up pretty positively into the actual best new Mega evolution, Mega Floette. So what exactly happened here? I could probably make a whole video just about this 2-week period and Mega Delphox relation to it, but the short version is that as people optimized their teams and discovered which Pokemon were strong, they also discovered a core of 3 Pokemon that could fit on most archetypes in the game that worked really well together and were full of some of the strongest Pokemon. This archetype is Sneasler, Kingambit, and Basculegion. And the thing about this archetype is that both Kingambit and Basculegion have a phenomenal matchup against Mega Delphox. So Mega Delphox usage began to plummet. However, Delphox also has a number of strengths. Mega Delphox is one of the fastest Mega evolutions. It is so fast, in fact, that it's even faster than Mega Gengar and Aerodactyl, who are incredibly fast Pokemon that are really dangerous for most teams. Mega Delphox also has an incredible defensive ability in Levitate, which when paired with its actually pretty good defensive typing of Fire and Psychic, makes it really difficult for a number of Pokemon to get rid of. Delphox also gets a number of useful moves that it can run. Most Delphox will run Protect, a Fire move, and a Psychic move, but the last slot is really flexible. Right now the norm is to use Encore or Substitute, but other moves can work as well. Anyway, I think Delphox is better than people are giving it credit for, even with all the Kingambit and all the Basculegion running around, and so I wanted to try building it in a way that I thought could be strong. There's 2 main questions if you want to use Delphox. The first is, what 4th move do you want? Like I said, Encore and Substitute are the 2 most common options right now, but I'm not so sold on either of these. Basically, neither Encore or Substitute really let you beat Kingambit or Basculegion, and like I said, that's kind of a big deal right now. And so I was wondering if there were any moves that do. The move that I eventually landed on is a bit unusual. It's Calm Mind, and on paper, it doesn't really help with either Kingambit or Basculegion. Calm Mind gives you 1 stage of special attack and 1 stage of special defense increase when you use it. Delphox also gets Nasty Plot, which gives it 2 stages of special attack increase, which is maybe thought to be better, but I felt like with Delphox's interesting defensive typing, Calm Mind could actually make it really threatening and hard to get rid of. The other choice you have to make with Delphox is how you want to train it, and like most players, I initially started out by training my Delphox to be very fast and very strong. However, after testing, I decided to try out something very unusual, which is to give Delphox 0 training in its special attack stat, instead focusing entirely on its speed, HP, and defense. The idea is basically that because Calm Mind boosts your special attack and special defense stat, if you invest your training in your HP, defense, and speed stats, you can make Delphox kind of an all-rounder Pokemon rather than just a special attacker. I don't know how well this will work, but the thing is that because Delphox has such high natural special attack, I figure that even without training and without a Calm Mind, it should still do respectable damage. We'll have to see though. Anyway, this is a really weird way of using Mega Delphox, but I wanted to give it a shot, but I clearly needed some help. The most important thing in my opinion is to have some Pokemon that can redirect attacks. Kingambit's Sucker Punch and Basculegion's Aqua Jet are both super effective moves that will do tons of damage to Delphox, and so having a Pokemon that can keep it safe is pretty important. After a Calm Mind, Heat Wave will KO most Kingambit, and Psychic will do good damage against Basculegion, so I really want a Pokemon that can keep Delphox safe while it sets up and then attacks. The thing is that there aren't many good redirectors in the game. There is Sinistcha, who's typically used as the premier redirector on the format, but the thing is that Sinistcha is weak to Ghost and Dark, just like Delphox is, and so I didn't really love it here. Instead, I decided to use Clefable. Clefable's a Pokemon I actually haven't used before. I had to bring one out of my Legends ZA game in order to play with it, but it's really interesting. It does have a Mega Evolution, though we won't be using it here. Instead, we'll be using it as a bulky support Pokemon with the move Follow Me, as well as Helping Hand and Moonblast and Protect. Citrus Berry gives it a bit of extra healing, and it can use the Magic Guard ability, which protects it from damage from like Sandstorm and Poison and Burn. Speaking of Sandstorm, Tyranitar is a big problem. Tyranitar is a huge problem. It's super specially bulky, it's immune to Psychic, and it resists fire. Clefable's a fairy type, but because it's a defensive fairy type, it's actually not doing enough here, so we really want a Pokemon that can fight against Tyranitar. That's why the third Pokemon on this team is Garchomp. I actually debated Crocodile instead of Garchomp, but because I'm also kind of concerned about Sun teams, I decided that Garchomp was probably better. I'll be using Choice Scarf Garchomp. I've used it before. Garchomp has really good synergy with Delphox because Delphox, thanks to Levitate, is immune to ground moves. So you can use Choice Scarf Garchomp with Earthquake next to Heat Wave Mega Delphox and hit both your opponent's Pokemon and not take any damage on your side from your own attacks. Scarf Garchomp is another Pokemon that outspeeds Aerodactyl, which is really nice because, yeah, in theory, you can use like Psychic plus Rock Slide and just KO Aerodactyl before it can move and use Tailwind, and that feels pretty nice. But we need another Pokemon that's immune to ground. And for this, I'm going to add Gyarados. I want an Intimidate on this team somewhere, and there aren't that many good Intimidate users in this format that aren't Incineroar. And I didn't want Incineroar because it has typing overlap with my Delphox, and also because, yeah, it's weak to ground. I'll be using a Dragon Dance Gyarados with Waterfall, Crunch, Protect, and Dragon Dance, and I'll be giving it the Gyarados Mega Stone. I like Gyarados a lot because, like, you have the option of giving it the Mega Stone, but it really doesn't need it a lot of the time. Like, it's totally fine to just use Gyarados as its own Pokemon and bring it to battles with Delphox, even if you're Mega Evolving Delphox. But if there is a matchup where your Delphox isn't very good, or your Gyarados is in a position where it can just win the game, it's a good secondary option. The typing change is really difficult to predict, and with Dragon Dance, Gyarados actually has good synergy with Clefable's Follow Me as well. So yeah, it just overall feels like a really nice combination. Okay, 2 Pokemon left. Gyarados, Garchomp, and Delphox are all a little bit weak to Incineroar, so I want some Pokemon on the team that can discourage Incineroar. Normally I would use Milotic for this with its competitive ability, but the thing is that I already have a water type and Milotic doesn't really fit with my other Pokemon on this team. So instead, I'm going to add Kingambit. Kingambit is one of the premier Pokemon in the format right now, but the one I'll be using is a little bit strange. I'm going to be running Max Speed and Max Attack Kingambit with the Focus Sash item. This allows me to play Kingambit a lot more recklessly and not worry about the fact that it has a quadruple weakness to fighting, though it does mean that it will be a bit frailer when taking multiple hits rather than just one individual strong one. My moveset's also a bit strange. I'm running Low Kick to hopefully hit opposing Kingambit, which is one of the problems with this team, Sucker Punch to hopefully hit Basculegion, Protect to keep Kingambit safe, but the last move I'm using is Iron Head. Almost every Kingambit runs Kowtow Cleave, but I just don't think that I have the room for it on this set because I think I really need a Steel move, not only to hit Fairy type Pokemon, but also to hit Sneasler, who I want to get rid of as soon as possible. Speaking of Sneasler, that's the final Pokemon on this team. Not only do I need more help for Kingambit, but also I want a Fake Out user to help my Delphox set up Calm Minds. Sneasler is also a very fast Pokemon, which means paired with Garchomp or with Delphox, it can do a ton of damage before the opponent can react. And Sneasler actually can be the fastest Pokemon on this team if it ever activates its Unburden ability. Unburden doubles Sneasler's already high speed stat whenever its item is consumed. Sneasler is the white herb item, and so if its stats are ever lowered, it'll reset back to neutral. The opponent can activate this with Intimidate or with moves like Icy Wind, but we can also activate it ourselves by using Close Combat, which lowers our defenses, which white herb will then clear and double our speed. It's a strong Pokemon, and I'm using the same set that I used on my Scovillain team where I got 2 rank 1. If you haven't already watched that video, I'd recommend it. It's really good. Meaning this Sneasler has a bit of bulk and not maxed out in its power. Before we get in the battles, just a quick reminder to see if you are subscribed. Subscribing helps the channel out a ton and also makes sure that you are less likely to not get recommended videos as we post them. As we're posting a video every single day, you probably want to see some more of them, especially after you see what Delphox does. I think you're going to like this one. Alrighty, here's the Mega Delphox team that I'll be using today. I just did some testing over the last couple of hours, trying to optimize it as much as I can. I'm really interested to see how some of the details play out. The thing that I'm actually most interested in is, if you look at Delphox's stats, I actually have 0 special attack investment. I'm trained entirely in speed, HP, and defense, which I think is probably not a very normal way to use Delphox. I'm also interested in some of the tech like this max speed Focus Sash Kingambit, and just also as well how Clefable feels in general. It's not a Pokemon I've actually been able to use yet. I had to just bring one in for my Legends DA game. One thing to note is that I'm playing on my main account here, and my main account is really high ranked. As you can see, I'm over 2,300, which is extremely high up on the ladder. So yeah, I think that the quality of opponents will be really, really high here, and I don't have a lot of experience with this team, so I'm not really expecting like to do that well, all things considered, but I think it's still worth giving it a shot. Okay, so this is a Mega Floette team, but it has some scary Pokemon, including Hisuian Arcanine, who's I think pretty terrifying. Whimsicott can cause me some trouble. Hisuian Zoroark is a big threat. So my Garchomp looks pretty good here. My Sneasler looks decent. Sneasler can't really touch Aegislash, and it's not so good here. So my inclination is to do something like Garchomp plus Kingambit here with Delphox in the back. I'll need to watch out for Triple Axle and the Serena potentially. Maybe Clefable is the last here. I need to get rid of the Hisuian Arcanine. If I get rid of Hisuian Arcanine, then my Delphox can win. I think it's worth bringing Clefable here because Clefable can protect me from Encore from Whimsicott. I think leaving Sneasler behind makes sense because the opponent has a couple Pokemon are really good into it, most notably the Ghost types. And then Gyarados, I don't really need Intimidated here. I think I can get away without it, so let's give this a shot. My number 1 goal is to clear the Arcanine, I think. If I get rid of Arcanine, the rest of my game plan becomes a lot easier. I need to really watch out for Hisuian Zoroark as well. The thing about Hisuian Zoroark is that players, if you have Hisuian Zoroark on your team, like, you love to bring it. It was true when I used it as well. But yeah, I need to keep in mind that any Pokemon here can be Hisuian Zoroark. I also should keep in mind that Stomping Tantrum, there's no immunities to, so going for Earthquake or Stomping Tantrum in the late game can be really threatening. I actually don't have Kowtow Cleave on my Kingambit, which makes Aegislash a bit harder, I would say. If I see Sarina, that's a Pokemon that people really like to disguise Zoroark as. Arcanine and Floette, let's see if there's Intimidate, because that would confirm immediately that one of these Pokemon is true. Okay, there's no Intimidate, which doesn't really tell us much. I'm inclined to go for Earthquake plus Protect here and just accept that Garchomp is probably going down. I think this is probably not the true Arcanine. I think it's probably Zoroark. It could be Rockhead. That's totally possible. Okay, it is real Floette, so that's probably not good for me, realistically. It depends on if this is Zoroark or not. I mean, if it's Arcanine, that's good, right? If we actually hit the Arcanine here, that's really good for us. We don't... this is the worst case scenario, unfortunately, where... oh, this is pretty bad. Yeah, this is really bad. My Garchomp's gonna take an attack here. This is really, really bad. I'm in big trouble. I'm in danger. Yeah, this is a bad turn for me. I should have gone for maybe Rock Slide plus Iron Head here, but that's good damage. I might live this. It's totally feasible that I could survive. I'm probably dead. Garchomp is not that bulky. Yeah, I like at first I was like, oh yeah, Dazzling Gleam is not that strong, but then I remembered. Arcanine. Okay, cool. I'm not killing this flow with Psychic, so I think what I want to do here is try and take out the Arcanine. Psychic should do 50%. So what I can do here is, yeah, I can go into Delphox, and I can go for Sucker Punch plus Psychic here. Mega Evolution, Psychic here, and Sucker Punch. Not a perfect turn, but I think it's somewhat tricky. I don't think it's so obvious that I want to go for this. They do have Serena, so they could switch it in here, but I think I just have to do something here, right? This Arcanine could also be, okay, they didn't switch. If I had Encore, I could use it here, but I don't have Encore. Let's see if they go for Extreme Speed. Okay, here's Sucker Punch. Not Zoroark. No Citrus. Okay, Psychic comes out. Okay, this should definitely KO. Okay, so it's like Delphox comes in here, takes out the Arcanine, which is the biggest threat, but I do have to take a hit now. Light of Ruin, actually, but they miss my Kingambit. That's actually really bad for me. I would have taken the kill if they'd connected. Oh, that's really bad. Oh man, I needed them to hit there because I would have survived with the Focus Sash. Here's Whimsicott. Okay, probably Whimsicott, I should say. Let's go for Heat Wave. And Iron Head here, I think. Maybe I should Sucker Punch it. I think it's Zoroark. I think it's Zoroark. This could really backfire in a major way. Like they could go for Tailwind and just completely rock my world. The thing is, if it's Whimsicott, why are you sending it in here? You know what I mean? Okay, I'm not playing well. Okay, let's see what they go for here. Tailwind comes out. I go for Sucker Punch and I fail. See what they go for with Floette. Oh my God. Okay. I take a bit of damage here. By a bit, I mean infinite. I need to hit this Heat Wave. Okay, great job, Delphox. Okay, it wasn't Sash, so... the thing is, they have 3 turns of Tailwind, and who's the last Mon here? Aegislash is an option. I feel like if it was Aegislash, oh, they forfeited. Okay, cool. Yeah, so Mega Delphox's defensive typing here was really clutch, because looking at their team, they just didn't have really that much for... didn't really have much for Delphox, right? They had double Fairy. I got rid of the Arcanine right away, and then their last Mon was a Ghost type. Hello, I'm here to tell you that you only have a little bit over 24 hours left to get the Difference Notebook. The Difference Notebook. Hello, look, I've got it. Hello. For those of you unaware, this is a notebook that I designed specifically to help with note-taking in official competitive Pokemon. I've used it for my last several tournaments. I think it is awesome. I think note-taking is super important at the top level when it comes to competitive Pokemon, and to be honest, I designed this in large part because I wanted it and I wanted to be able to use it. But you can get it too. It comes with a QR code that tells you exactly how to use it. It also comes with a fun sticker sheet as a thank you for supporting. And we use projects like this to support the channel as a whole and to fund other cool projects that we think you'll be interested in. If it's something that you think you might be interested in, again, this is a limited time pre-order and we do not know if it'll be able to be an evergreen product. So if you want one, this is the only time you'll be guaranteed to be able to get one. But yeah, Mega Delphox there. I think one of these strengths is that even with no special attack investment and without setting up, it was still strong, right? I still was able to use it there because it's just so fast and has like such good natural stats. Offensively. Okay, this looks really hard. This kind of like Sneasler, Kingambit, Basculesian core is just a real problem. What if I did Delphox plus Kingambit? Hold on a second. What if I did 1-2 here? That's acceptable. It's a little bit risky though. I'm gonna bring Garchie here. This is maybe too weak to Kingambit. I need to clear their Kingambit. That's like my #1 priority. Okay, Frostless, Kingambit are the leads. So here's the thing, chat. I have Heat Wave. I'm gonna low kick their Kingambit, Mega Evolve, and Calm Mind. I'm gonna make a really risky play here and call basically that they go for. I mean, the thing is, they might expect Substitute, right? I did Eevee to survive a Sucker Punch. I'm gonna go for Heat Wave. It's not guaranteed, and it's certainly not guaranteed that they're Black Glasses. Let's see here. Here's the Mega Evolution. This is where all the defense is for, so I can live a Sucker Punch. But the thing is, they can run a type boosting item. I really need to get this Heat Wave off. Snow is up. Okay, I got the call correct. Heat Wave comes out. Ooh, and probably crits the Kingambit there. It doesn't end up mattering here because I'm max speed on my Delphox or my Kingambit, so I was gonna be faster here, unless I go for Icy Wind. Go for Aurora Veil. Okay, so I was gonna clear them with low kick, so the crit doesn't end up mattering here because now my low kick hits nothing. But that was like maybe the biggest threat to my team, so getting rid of it is pretty nice. Having Frostless now slower than my Delphox, that was really nice. Here's Sneasler. The Sneasler. So the protect is so obvious for me here. You know what? Why don't I save Gambit? Why don't I slow the pace down a little bit and go for protect plus switch here? It's like probably a little bit ambitious, or like it's probably unnecessary. They stayed in with both, so I think in that case my play was bad. I have Clefable in now. I go for protect with Delphox. Let's see what they go for here. I guess I'm worried about close combat is the worst case scenario. Here's Fake Out, okay, into my Delphox. And then what are you doing with Frostlass? Blizzard, okay, they need a freeze here, I think. Without a freeze, they're gonna be in big trouble. My Clefable is fully physically bulky, so it will take a lot from this. Oh, that's a lot. The freeze, awesome, okay. It's either Sash Sneasler or Sash Basculegion, right? Actually, I'm gonna protect plus Heat Wave. It's a little bit risky because the Delphox could, or the Sneasler could like Dire Claw me. I really wanna get a Calm Mind up. Okay, they switch. Okay, so it's good I didn't Psychic then. It's actually not so good that I didn't Psychic. I protect Clefable. Okay, Heat Wave is gonna connect then, which also gives them a last respect stack. Okay, I hit both of these Mons. We get the burn on the Basky Legend. I suspect that's in Sucker Punch range. Okay, I think I see how I can win this. How many Agent of Aurora Veil are left? Because I have Scarf Garchomp in the back, which means that I can threaten the Sneasler in a pretty major way. I'm gonna go for Follow Me here. I'm gonna go for Psychic here. Okay, they didn't go for Fake Out. So here's Follow Me. Here's Psychic. Outspeeding Sneasler is really good. We just don't want to see Sash. Okay, we're gonna win this. There's no way they can beat me now. Yeah, there's just no way. It's interesting because in all my practice games, I really was setting up a ton of Calm Minds and using Delphox that way. Okay, it's Sash Basculegion if they have Liquidation. Yeah, like in all my practice games, I was setting up Calm Minds to beat these teams. But here, as you can see, forfeit. I didn't even need to go for Calm Mind. Like just having the offensive pressure was enough. I think that's one of the hard things when you have a setup Pokemon is deciding when to attack versus when to play defensive. Like in that turn one, they're probably like, oh my god, like he just made a crazy read. Like why would he play so aggressively? And it's because I EV to survive Sucker Punch, but it's not guaranteed with how many points I put in, and also it's possible they could add Black Glasses and I would have died for sure. I just feel like Black Glasses have trended downward a lot. Hello, there's been a jump cut because the battle I just played I'll be putting on Patreon. It was an interesting game. Played against a rain team, went for Calm Mind and Delphox. You'll have to check it out there if you're interested. Yeah, just as a reminder, I post bonus videos during this month of every single one of my teams on Patreon. As well as a ton of other content. I'm in the middle of putting out a master course to teach you how to play competitive Pokemon, everything you need to know about competitive Pokemon. It's been a lot of fun, honestly, to work on, but yeah, that's all over there. So in this matchup, we need to watch over Basculegion, who could be Scarf here. Sneasler plus Delphox is better versus specific threats. Garchomp. No Clefable feels wrong here, but I guess if I'm bringing King Gambit in the back, then it might be acceptable. I'm gonna do this. Oh, this person's really high rank, 2,400, my god. Okay, it's Aerodactyl plus Sylveon in the lead. I go Sneasler plus Delphi. This could be Mega Aerodactyl, to be honest. I don't think it would be that unrealistic. I'm gonna go Fake Out into the Aerodactyl here, Mega Evolve, and Calm Mind. This is relatively safe, though not perfectly safe. Okay, well, it is Mega Aerodactyl. That can't be good. So what does this mean? It means they could have Basculegion in the back. Here's my Delphoxite. Okay, they don't predict either Mon. Here's Fake Out. Chip could matter, to be honest. They flinch. I go for Calm Mind. The thing is that Delphox is faster than regular Arrow, but nothing's faster than Mega Arrow. This is going to be pretty tricky from here, I think. See what Sylveon goes for. Hyper Voice, I assume. Here's Hyper Voice. 170 to 85. Okay, I'm going to go Close Combat into Aerodactyl. I think they're going to go for Rock Slide here. I did exactly half my health, so it's possible I could live a second one. I think they've got to be more worried about Delphox here. So I'm going to go Close Combat plus Protect. In a perfect world, it's Protect Sylveon and Rock Slide. Protect from Delphox. They now probably know I don't have Encore. They don't protect Arrow, so let's see what they go for here. Tailwind. Oh, that can't be good. Oh, I should have just attacked. That's not good. Sneasler's faster. That's not good enough. Oh, that was a really good Tailwind from them. I actually think now I would like to go down here because I would like to get my King Gambit in. The Sylveon's pretty slow. Here's Hyper Voice. It did exactly half last time. We'd like to see it do the same roll again. KO me here. That's just good because now I do get King Gambit in, which is probably important. The thing is, I think my matchup into the Basculegion is getting more and more dicey here. So King Gambit comes out here. I think it could be worth just going for... The Sucker Punch is very obvious is the thing, but I don't really want to take a Rock Slide either. I'm going to Psychic the Sylveon. It's +1. It's my strongest move. Okay, they just attack. This is maybe good, but it also is maybe bad. We get rid of their Mega. This is actually an instance where Kingambit is better than Clefable. Here's +1 Psychic. It might not even two-shot. Yeah, it's a little bit short. We can get the drop, though. Okay, we got the drop. Ooh, that's really bad for me. Oh, Yawn Sylveon. Ugh, that cannot be good. Okay, that must be their Delphox counter then. Yawn Sylveon. Let's see who comes in here. It's the Sneasler. I would like to switch here. Turn to Tailwind left or what? 2? Can I allow Delphox to fall asleep here? I guess I have to, unfortunately. Oh my god, they just called it. That's not good. Okay, it's not good. Yeah, they super read me. They super duper read me. Okay. The thing is, I know this is gonna sound crazy. It is still winnable. It just depends on what the last Pokemon is here. I have Garchomp on the back with Choice Scarf, and they're gonna run out of Tailwind turns. So Iron it into Sylveon and go for a... They might be going for, like, I'm guaranteed to wake up at some point, right? Maybe I need to go for... Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Fire Claw. Yeah, this is the bigger threat for them. I think I was supposed to hit the... 61 down to 39. I can take another one of those, which is good. How much does Heat Wave or Iron Head do here? Does it do put it in range of Sucker? Oh, it just kills. Must have been a crit. Yeah, okay. Okay, and that's the end of their Tailwind, right? So how on earth am I gonna win this? Tailwind is over. Who's the last Pokemon? Is it Basky Legend? It's Garchomp. Oh my god, it's Garchomp. Well, I wasn't expecting that. I think I'm gonna go Iron Head here and Heat Wave. It's Scarf. Okay, okay. If I don't flinch here, I'm gonna win the game. But if I do flinch, I think I'm gonna lose the game. It is a flinch chance game. I'm running out of words. Come on, Kingambit, you got me? 70% of the time you win this? Oh! Okay. And now, that was really good. Kingambit, I don't think the critical hit matters. Takes out the Sylveon. Max speed Kingambit coming in clutch here. Kingambit is naturally, I think, 10 points slower than Sylveon. However, it doesn't matter because I'm max speed Kingambit, so I'm faster. And that means that I can go for a Sucker Punch here, which will never fail. And Dragon Claw, and I don't think they can win this because they are Choice Scarf because they're faster than my Delphox. All right, and that person was really, really high ranked. So yeah, we see the pressure that Delphox put on there. I know it might have looked like they made some aggressive reads in that game, but I just figured that, like, even after my Delphox fell asleep, I felt like the pressure was still on them to get rid of it because I had a feeling that it was just gonna be hard for them later on. So Kingambit was really good there in the end. We started around rank 40, I think, 40 something, and now we end around rank 18. Wow, that's great. Yeah, so Delphox, we did pretty well with Delphox. Yeah, climbed quite a bit. So overall, I think it's a really strong Mega Evolution. I think that the format, like, is not the most warm towards it right now, with like Basculegion and Kingambit are both really scary Pokemon, but I think it's a Pokemon that we'll definitely see play at some point, and I also wouldn't be shocked if its like full potential hadn't been discovered yet. So thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you tomorrow for more for more battles. Bye bye.